Man, bro, it's like you don't speak about just certain things to like people. It's not just people like a stranger outside, this random person. It could be somebody around you or family or a loved one. Maybe you did. I have, but it's this extended family. It's this person. Sometimes you have. I did a couple times. I'm just speaking about me, but you guys may not do it because, to be honest, you don't trust them. They're not ready. They're blind. You know why? Because they don't want to see. They don't want to open the blind because the light is too bright. The sun, the light that is emitting from the sun, it is too bright. It is too bright for them. Their visualization is only out to a certain extent. They can only see so much light and take it because that's what they want to see. Their brain is conditioned that way. They're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready. They're not ready. They are blind. They want to be blind. They don't want to see. They don't want to put the goggles on and see reality for what it is. And it doesn't always have to be bad. They don't want to see the truth. They don't want to see creation. That's why you don't trust people or your family to tell them certain shit. They might be a little, so you don't want to make it worse for them and tell them certain shit. They may get addicted. They may get obsessive. They may get crazy. They may get psycho, depending on the information you tell them. Not everybody's ready. Not everybody's ready. They're not. You can wake up and be ready. You can open a door and be ready. You can quit and be ready. You can be prepared, but they're just not. Anyway, they're just not ready. They're not ready to wake up. You know what I'm saying? They're not ready to cross the other side. They're not ready to walk with you. You know what I'm saying? They're just not. That's why you don't speak about certain things to family or tell them this. They're just not ready. Okay, if they're watching from the sidelines, let them watch from the sidelines and let them learn. But don't brush it onto them. But maybe it's like they're not even watching at all. Maybe they're not even learning at all. Maybe they're not even ready, but if you break it down to them personally, they may not even get it. Damn. You know what I'm saying? They may not even understand. They may not understand at all. They may not understand. They may not understand. Inner to stand. They're not making a standing with it. Inner, they're not seeing both sides. They're not even there. Their mind is only focused on right now. They just don't care. They don't see. Maybe you can. Maybe they're sensitive. Maybe they're open-minded. But are you sure you want to tell them? We can't be afraid to let our wings spring. Let what words come out of the mouth. Sometimes we have to just say it as it is. We have to speak it. We can't be afraid. You know, you can't withhold certain things from people or family. If they become mad, let them become mad. They're going to understand. You know what I'm saying? Later. They'll understand later. We can't be afraid to let our springs. We're scared to look a certain way. Because we want them to still care about us the same way. LOVE the same way. We want us to treat us the same way. They might already look at you kind of crazy a little bit, but they haven't confirmed it. And as you speak and say it and show them what you are, what you're really about, it's gonna confirm that. And that's just gonna give them the excuse to like never just get the hell away from you and never be cool with you anymore. But we want to protect that. But you shouldn't give a damn. You shouldn't give a damn. You shouldn't give a damn. You shouldn't care. You care about their emotions. You're not trying to hurt them. You're trying to help them. You're trying to help them step out of the shell. You're not even trying to do that. You're trying to just show them something new. Because, we talk about the same thing, this, that. You just hanging around them. It just kind of gets odd. It kind of gets quiet. Sometimes there's nothing to do. But guess what? You found something to do. You found something crazy. Not crazy, but you found something phenomenal. You stepped into this new world. You took a glimpse at it. It was just information. Like I said, I have a video that information could be a trap. So I'm going to have that too. So be careful with information. But it's going to be in the end of the video. But there's a new world for them to learn. And it doesn't stop. But you don't trust them. Yourself don't trust them. Because they probably already have mood swings. They get mad easily. They're tempered. So you can't be afraid. So if you're on a certain family, you got to talk. If they cut you off or they do this, then you would already know that they're not ready for it. And you don't got to go enough. If they tell you Jesus or anything like that, then you just stop from there. And that's it. And you just move forward. They're not ready. Their mind is not there. They refuse. They want to be blue-pilled. They want to be blind. That's their state. Their state is blindness. They haven't changed and moved. So they're going to stay there until they move and decide. And then you give them the GPS. But other than that, that's their present state. But you shouldn't be afraid. I used to be that, I ain't going, because you talking to family. I want to connect or certain people, but then it's like, y'all not contacting, or, because you just be doing certain things, and you're scared to show that side. You don't want to look crazy. Oh, damn, oh my God. Is this charging? Okay, it's charging. But you can't care. You actually have social media because you want to connect. You want to show people things. You don't want to hide all this, what's inside to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do that. You want to spring it because it can become an overload. But they just not hip to it. But certain times you got to just test and try it out and see where it goes. Have I tried a couple times? I haven't fully tried. I'll go to certain questions and certain dishes to see how far I'll get to them. But I wouldn't just dive deep because it's you just won't know how they would take it. So you just dance around it, I guess, until they figure out, until they get the gist of it. But the most it's gonna go to is Jesus. They're gonna go to Jesus and they just not gonna even care. So I'm telling you, bruh. The most it's gonna go to is Jesus. And that's it. Everything else, they just gonna cut you off. They just gonna CUTOF, man. They mind is just gonna go to Jesus. Anything outside of that, I don't know. That's all I know from around me. All they know is Jesus. That's all they know. All they know is Jesus, the power of this. All they know. They don't even want to go past that perception. So I don't even know what the fuck to say. I don't know. So sometimes test, try, ask questions, and maybe they will tell you. They may break some things down that they wasn't comfortable saying or whatever. Things that they know that's information, things about this or that. You got to ask questions, man. Because we don't know these people from a can of paint like that. We don't know what happens. We don't know how deep their mind is. They're only showing you a mask. Remember, we are putting mask at the end of the day. We're putting a mask. I try not to put a mask. So I try not to BS. I try to be not as real, but more organic. More kind of simplistic. You know what I'm saying? So they could kind of see where I'm going, but not see where I'm going. Not be on some crazy shit, but not on some backdoor shit, but on some real stuff. But ask questions, because you never know which individual will meet. We gotta ask questions, bro. Ask questions and they will let you know. If not, we gotta just move forward, bro.